There is no missing this gorgeous triple silver 1959 custom Impala here at Mecum's Orlando Summer Special. And perhaps what's most striking about it is that underneath these classy looks are some very thoroughly modern upgrades. Joining me now is Greg. Now, Greg, you have been friends with Rich, the car's owner, for a very long time. How hard was it for him to get you here to be with him this week?
I could not get my airline ticket fast enough because I know how his cars are.
And how many years have you guys been friends?
62 years.
62 years. So you know him, you know his vision pretty well. He acquired the car in 2010 from Mecum's Bob McDormand auction. What state was the car in then, and what was his vision for it?
His vision at that time was to make it as authentic as possible. He wanted to be original, but he still wanted to be able to be driven, and he wanted it to be authentic as possible. Then after a few years, he wanted to upgrade it, bring it to the next level. And that's when we started talking about the next level.
And this is the final product from that recent round of upgrades. Open up the hood, show me the engine. What are some of those hidden touches that he included?
Well, first we're going to start. This was an originally 348 Trip Deuces car. So what he did, he found an outfit in California that made electronic fuel injection throttle bodies to replicate Rochester carburetors. And that was one of the things that he wanted to do to bring it up to the next level. But what was really important, he still wanted the factory air cleaner to bolt on top of the 3 fuel injection throttle bodies. Under here, which appears to be a generator, but the internals are a current alternator. So you have the goodness of the alternator and not the bad effects of an old generator. The attention to detail does not stop there. He has a 4-core radiator, but underneath there, that's a correct Harrison top tank. Even though it appears to be a stock radiator, it is a 4-core, so there'll be no overheat issues whatsoever. And then, when he went to 4-wheel disc brakes, rather than having the proportioning valve up here where it would look like it was out of place, he fabricated a special mounting bracket where the proportioning valve is located on the top of the frame rail out of the sight.
And then right away as we come to the side of the car, we're greeted by more custom touches. What are some of the ones that we see here?
First, we're going to start with this little fuel injecting emblem. That was custom made. Rich had that made because that was General Motors' way of saying a car was fuel injected. Then if you move around to these wheels, even though they look like a stock 59 Impala wheel cover, those are actually solid billet. And that is a true knockoff. You knock that off and it will expose the 5 factory lug nuts underneath that.
Now what about the interior? What all is going on here?
The interior is phenomenal. First, we're going to start with the steering wheel. The original steering wheel was 17 inches in diameter. He didn't like that. He wanted a smaller wheel, so he sent a picture of the original wheel to Evode out of California. They fabricated a 15-inch. What he also did, he moved the seat tracks back a few inches so you'd have more leg room. The steering column was custom made because he wanted to look like it came out of the factory. It is a functional tilt wheel, and that's what his intent was, to make everything look factory even though it has all the custom touches.
Now as we come around back, that attention to detail continues, and I think one of my favorite features is actually hidden inside these iconic fins. Tell me about what's tucked away under this chrome trim.
Well, first of all, this chrome trim, the whole purpose of it is to hide the factory pinch welds. But when it comes to the corner here, where you see this corner here, General Motors inside this clip was just like a pressure fit. Well, when you push that molding on, what it did would chip the paint. What are you going to do in a couple years? You're going to have some rust blisters forming. Rich wouldn't tolerate that. So what does he do? He takes this molding to a machine shop. He said, I want a clip that slides in the tracks of this molding, but I want a threaded stud on the end of it. And when it came to the installation of this molding, one person was in the trunk, and another person was out here gently pushing on it, and the outside person would tell the person in the trunk, that's tight enough, don't snug it up anymore.
Man. Well, the final result is breathtaking. Now, you guys have been friends for many, many years. You guys have shared a love of cars for many years. At this point, are you surprised that this is the level that he's at with his builds?
Not at all. His builds are always like this. He is known nationwide when it's Rich Masney's car, you don't have to look any closer because it's done to perfection. The attention to detail is phenomenal, and I'm happy to be here with him with this car.
Well, I think the final question that I have is, any idea of what he has in store next? Is he going to keep on this path of going to the next level with the 59, or maybe is he going to try something else?
No, he has a 59 addiction. He's already done a half a dozen of them, and he's already telling me on the way here today, I have a vision to upgrade. I want to do another 59. You know, I have one word for him. I said he is so meticulous, so meticulous.
Well, it clearly shows. Hey, man, thanks so much for the details.
My pleasure.
And I can't wait to see that next 59 that he cranks out.
Ah, you bet. Thank you. It's my pleasure. Enjoy it.